Hello friends, welcome to Programming Central. My name is Chetan Nathani and today we are going to discuss about D3JS, which is an exploding data visualization technology. So in this video, we will start with some introduction of D3JS. Then we'll jump into code and we will see what all things are needed to develop your first D3JS chart. We will start with downloading all GS file needed, and then we'll build your first D3JS chart who will look into the kind of functions, kind of API library we have which is needed to develop your first D3JS chart. And while doing all these things, we will understand the technology terminology which we use in D3JS. So before proceeding to video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you subscribe to our channel, you will get regular notifications whenever we will publish our new videos. So if you are watching this video on desktop, you will see red subscribe button below this video on the left. If you are watching this video on mobile, you will see red subscribe button below this video on right side. So moving ahead with this video, let's have a look kind of chart we will end up building in this tutorial series. This is a kind of chart we'll be building in this video, and you can see this is pretty simple chart. It has two axes. Here you can see y axis is showing sales data and x axis is showing years value 2012, 2014 and 2015. Though D3JS is a quite powerful technology and we can build a lot more complicated and lot more beautiful interactive chart with D3JS, but in this video we are attempting a simple chart because purpose of this video is to get you started, to let you know what all things are needed to build a simple chart in D3JS and to understand the stuff, understand the terminology, understand the language, understand the library. In future videos, in coming 2-3 videos, we'll try to build some interactive and some advanced charts, but for this tutorial we'll be attempting this chart. So let's see how we can build this chart in D3JS. So what actually is D3JS? D3JS is no fancy thing. It is just JavaScript library which takes data as input, process that data and transform it into SVG element and embed this SVG element inside our HTML and CSS. So you can see it is a library which is taking help of already existing front-end technologies and building it beautifully to build very interactive charts. So another question is why we should use D3JS. There are many other charts, many other technologies available in market today. So why should we use D3JS in place of all these things, all these charts and all these visualization technologies? First of all, it is a very powerful tool. You have full control. You can draw almost any chart with D3JS. Second thing is it is interactive. It gives you binding features. You can bind your data with your charts, and upon user selections, user selection events, you can make your chart interactive and useful to users. Third thing, there are already lot of tools available with working mockups. If you go to D3JS homepage, you don't have to go anywhere else. There are lots and lot of tools are available, so you can take help of these mocks also. And fourth thing, it is free and it is open source. You can change source code also. If you have any issue, you can change source code also. You don't have to pay to anybody. So all these features make it a very powerful tool, and these are USPs of D3JS over other technologies. So let's proceed to our example. I am starting with a blank app. Here I am using Visual Studio 2013, and with Visual Studio 2013 I'll be using C# and MVC. But C# and MVC is not significant here. because server side technology will only be serving the request, and all the things, all data and everything will use on client side, will use only client side technologies. So basically most of our demo will be around client side technologies. So you can use whatever server side technology you are using. You can use Java, you can use any you can use PHP or any other technologies of your comfort. So I'm starting a new web project. I'm creating this with MVC. So it is a blank application, and you can see there is some basic template around here, so we need to clean it. Let's run it first to see if there are any issues or it is running fine. So you can see there are some auto generated elements here, so we need to clean our page first. So I'm going to home page and I'm cleaning all the extra code here. So I'm putting a div here which will be a placeholder for our chart. So let's see how our page look like. So now it is clean page with only master page on the top, and so we can now write our code here. We can build a chart in this space here. So we have our placeholder div. Now I need to download the D3JS file. So I'll go to D3JS homepage and I'll get file from there. So this is D3JS homepage, and you can see these all charts are there which you can build on D3JS. If you want to go here, there will be mocks here. You can go, you can take the help of these mocks. You can see how interactive these are. You can take the help of these mocks, and you can find code also here, and you can take help of these mocks and you can build your own chart. But let's focus on our current chart first. So here you can see, if you want to download a D3JS file and you want to keep this file in your local, you can download the zip file from here. And if you want that to use it directly, you can use it directly from here. So I want to use it directly. Now this D3JS has dependency upon jQuery, so I need to take reference of jQuery also. So my project template has jQuery, so I must have jQuery already in my project. Let's see. Yeah, I have jQuery, so I can take reference of that. Now I have my D3JS file. I have my jQuery JS file for jQuery. Now I need to build chart. So I'm including inline script code here, and I will include a document.ready function here. So friends, don't worry, I have already a pre-built application, so I'm just copy pasting from here to save time and to decrease confusion, and I'll be explaining every step to you. And don't worry about code. I'll be pasting the link of the location from where you can download this code also. So let's focus on learning the things only. So we'll include a document.ready function, and I'll include another function here. So I have included this plot function, and I'll call this plot function from document.ready. So as soon as page will be loaded, this document.ready function will be called, and it will call this plot function, and I'll write my code inside it plot function, which will build my chart. So first thing is, to be able to create a chart, I should have some data. In ideal scenario, you will get this data from server, but this is our demo. So we'll create our JSON object here itself. We'll create our data array here itself, and we'll use that. And so this is my data, and you can see this data represents sale of some entity over some years. So you can see in 2012 sale is 2000, in 2014 sale is 3000, and 2015 sale is 5000. Let's add some more values. So I have modified this data a bit so that our chart looks somewhat prettier. So now I have defined my data. As I told, in ideal scenarios in real application, you will get this data from server side, but in this dummy application we'll have this data. We have defined this data in client side itself, and then we should have some boundaries of our chart. So here I'll declare some of the variables. Margin of our chart is, it should be top should be 20 pixels, right should be 30 pixels, bottom and left. And you can define width of your chart. It should be 1000 minus margin left minus margin right, and height will be 500 minus margin top minus margin bottom. So these are nothing, these are just variables, so that we don't hard code anything. So you can see here I want to keep top margin as 20, right margin as 30, bottom margin as 30, and left margin as 40. And width I'm keeping is 1000 minus margin left and margin right, and height I'm keeping as 500 minus margin top margin bottom. And now I'll declare my chart. So here, as jQuery has select operation, D3 also have select operation. So this D3.select has selected element, HTML element. You have seen that we have declared a placeholder here. So you need to provide ID prefixed by hash in D3.selects, and this will select the element. This will select the div whichever have this ID. Then this SVG. SVG is scalar vector graphics, and it is a technology which is used to draw graphics in front end in browsers. So here this append will append the SVG tag inside this chart element which we have selected, and then this attr, this is attribute. So we are providing a attribute, we are providing a property to this SVG element we have appended in this chart. So we are providing width as the width we have selected, and we are assigning attribute of height as height we have selected. So this is our element chart, this is our element, this is our main element which will be working in this function. So now we have data, and we have our chart element. Now we need to have scale. So what is scale? Scales are nothing but function you define in your chart which map unit in your chart with the pixels. So what does that mean? Let's try to understand it through the example we already have, pre-built example we already have. So here you can see this y-axis is showing some sales data. So assuming this may be number of units of products sold in particular years. So here you can see maximum value is something around 5000, and let's assume the pixels between 0 and 5000 are 50 pixels, let's suppose. So here one pixel here represents 100 units, so 5 pixels represent 500 units. So here this to this must be 0 to 500 must be 5 units, and up to 1000 units must be 10 pixels, up to 2000 must be 20 pixels, and up to 3000 must be 30 pixels, up to 4000 must be 40 pixels, and up to 5000 it must be 50 pixels. So this is scales, which is simply some function which maps pixels to unit of your chart. And there are many kind of scales, but here we are concerned with two types of scale. One is linear scale. So in linear scale you simply can formulate your pixel value to units in your chart. For example, here we can simply formulate that how many pixel represents how many units. And second one is ordinal scale. So ordinal scale is some discrete value, for example name, country, or something like that. So here ordinal scale can be this number of years. So here 2014 and 2012 is a difference of 2 years, and 2015 and 2014 is a difference of 1 year, but number of pixels between 2 and 1 will not be proportional. For example, ordinal scale doesn't guarantee that the difference will be The difference between a number of pixels will be same as the difference between scales. As a matter of fact, the tick values in scales may not be numerical. For example, it can be any country also. So here we can show sales by country also. It can be name also. It can be anything. So these are discrete value. So let's get back to our charts. So we will define our scales here now. So here x-axis is a ordinal scale and y-axis is a linear scale. So for defining domain of a scale, we need to have a simple array here. So I will create two functions which will create two arrays. One is years and second one is this number of sales. So it will be like year data will be something like 2012, 2014, 2015 and 2016, and number of sales will be something like 500, 5000, 2000 and 5000. So it will be simple array which this scale function, ordinal and linear scale function, can understand. And then we can define range point. For example, range of y-axis value will be 0 to height of that value. For example, range will be somewhere from this point to this point, right? Similarly, the range point of x-axis will be x-axis pixels. So let's define our function here. So we have two simple functions which takes this data as input and returns a simple array here, one for get sales and one for get years. And we can now we have functions, so we can get the form of the data we need for our D3JS charts. So now we have data, we have scales, we have functions which can transform our data to the kind of data D3JS needs. Now we need to define attributes of our axis, that will it have ticks, and if it has ticks, how many ticks it will have, and what kind of value it will have, x-axis and y-axis. So we need to define that also. Now we have axis, we need to define the graph, line which will represent our data, like for which year we have how much of sale. So it is simply showing this we have defined line. So this line simply is showing x-axis, value of x will be simply on the basis of year, and value of y will be simply sale for that year. So now we have all the things, we have our value line, axis and all the things. So we can simply, with the help of some functions, we can simply transform our chart for visual display. And I'm using some simple functions, and this will these functions will visually display our chart. So we are ready to go now. So let's see how our charts look like. Oops, we have got some issue. So let's see what the issue is. So friends, issue was that my the version of D3JS I've taken, it was not compatible with jQuery. So it seems it needed a higher version of jQuery. So I have taken older version of D3JS, that is version 2. Earlier I was using version 4. So we are ready to get go, and let's see how our chart looks like. So it looks like pretty much weird chart. So let's try to style it. Let's try to uh, beautify it. So we haven't put style here, so I'm just copying style from my other project and copying it here. So I'm just copying the style, or I have already pre-built a style here, CSS here. So I have just copied it, and let's try to refresh the page, and it looks like this one. So you can see that I want to change body color and I want to have a clear view of the chart. So I'll be changing some of the things. First of all, I don't want a black background, so I'm removing that black background. Second thing is I want stock as white. I don't want stock at white, I want black strokes, so I'm removing it. So by default strokes are black and body color is white. Let's try to refresh it. Now we have a chart here, so you can see we have data for 2012, 2014, 2015 and 2016, and we have a chart here. So that was all about chart. So I'll be cleaning this code, and I mean it has lot of extra things. It has lot of JS file which are not needed, and it has many references, I guess. So I'll clean all these things which are not needed, and I'll put these all things in some location, and I'll put the link of the location in my description, and you can find code there and you can take help of this code. So that's all about this video, and we have plan of publishing some more advanced videos of D3JS, and like for example some interactive charts, interactive pie, interactive bar, 3D bar, 3D pie, these kind of charts. We have plans of building that, and we have plans of publishing that as well. So for getting regular notification, please subscribe to our channel, and you will get notified whenever we'll publish a video. So typically it will be once a week. It will be one video per week, and um, that's all for now, and goodbye, and see you in our next video. Thanks.